Hello there. Let me ask you something. Does the thought of using the internet sometimes feel a little, overwhelming? Perhaps even a bit unsafe? You hear stories, don't you? Whispers from friends, maybe news reports, or just a general sense that navigating the online world requires a certain vigilance, a caution that wasn't always necessary in years gone by. If you've ever felt a flicker of uncertainty when an unexpected email pops up, or a moment of hesitation before clicking a link, please know you are absolutely not alone in feeling that way. It's a common sentiment, and frankly, a very understandable one in today's incredibly connected world. The digital landscape, with all its wonders and conveniences, also has its hidden corners and potential pitfalls. It's like exploring a vast, bustling city, full of amazing sights and opportunities, but also requiring a degree of street smarts to navigate safely. Think about how much of our lives have gradually shifted online. It's quite remarkable when you pause to consider it. We connect with grandchildren who might live far away, sharing photos and seeing their smiling faces on video calls, moments of pure joy that technology enables. We manage our finances, paying bills, and checking balances from the comfort of our own homes, saving us trips and time. We shop for essentials or special treats, having them delivered right to our doorstep, which can be incredibly helpful, especially if getting out and about isn't always easy. We look up health information, schedule appointments, maybe even consult with doctors remotely through telehealth services. We pursue hobbies, connect with old friends, read the news, watch films, listen to music. The list goes on and on. The internet has become woven into the very fabric of daily life for so many of us, offering undeniable convenience, connection, and access to information. But alongside these wonderful benefits comes a challenge. Because so much activity happens online, it has unfortunately also become a playground for those who wish to exploit others. Scammers, fraudsters, identity thieves, they are keenly aware that more people, including many seniors, are using the internet for important tasks. And sadly, sometimes older adults are specifically targeted. Why? Well, the criminals might make assumptions, perhaps unfair ones, that seniors might be less familiar with the latest technology, or may be perceived as more trusting, or perhaps having accumulated savings over a lifetime. They might think you're an easier target. These assumptions are often wrong, of course, but that doesn't stop the scammers from trying. They develop sophisticated tricks, constantly evolving their methods to try and catch people off guard. They might create fake websites that look identical to your bank's site, send emails pretending to be from a company you trust, or even call you on the phone claiming there's a problem with your computer. Their goal is simple: to trick you into revealing personal information, giving them access to your accounts, or sending them money directly. Experiencing something like this, or even just worrying about it, can stir up a lot of difficult emotions. There might be anxiety every time you need to log in somewhere. There could be frustration at having to constantly be on guard. If you, or someone you know, has ever encountered a scam attempt, you might have felt confused, angry, or even a little embarrassed. Though, let me be absolutely clear, there is never any shame in being targeted. These scams are designed by professional criminals to be deceptive. They prey on trust, urgency, and sometimes even our kindness. Falling victim doesn't say anything about your intelligence. It speaks volumes about how cunning and ruthless the scammers can be. It's understandable to feel vulnerable when faced with these invisible threats. You might feel like the technology is moving too fast, or that the risks outweigh the benefits. It's a natural reaction to want to protect yourself, your hard-earned savings, and your personal identity, the very essence of who you are. So, what can be done? Is the answer to simply unplug, To step back from the online world altogether? For most people, that's not a practical or desirable solution. Giving up the connections, the conveniences, the access to information, that would mean missing out on so much that enriches our lives, especially as we age. The real answer, the empowering answer, lies in knowledge and preparation. It's about understanding the landscape, recognizing the potential dangers, and equipping yourself with the tools and habits to navigate it safely and confidently. It's not about fear. It's about building a shield of awareness. Think of it like learning basic safety rules for your home. Locking your doors, not letting strangers in without checking their credentials. These are sensible precautions we take in the physical world, and we need a similar set of precautions for the digital world. That is precisely what we are going to explore together. This isn't about making you paranoid or afraid to go online. Quite the opposite. The goal here is to demystify these threats, to strip away their power by showing you how they work and how you can defend against them. We're going to build your digital safety toolkit, piece by piece. In our journey ahead, we will delve into the specifics. We'll look closely at the most common types of online threats you might encounter. Things like phishing emails designed to steal your passwords, fake tech support calls trying to gain access to your computer, deceptive shopping websites, and cunning attempts at identity theft. We'll learn how to spot the telltale signs, the red flags that can alert you that something isn't quite right. Beyond just recognizing the threats, we will focus heavily on the practical steps you can take right now to significantly boost your protection. This includes creating strong, unique passwords and managing them without getting overwhelmed, understanding the importance of keeping your software updated, recognizing secure websites, and adjusting privacy settings on social media or other accounts. We'll talk about safe online shopping habits and how to protect your financial information when banking or paying bills online. These are concrete actions that act like digital locks and alarms for your personal information. And, crucially, we will also discuss what to do if the worst should happen. Even with the best precautions, sometimes clever scams can still get through. Knowing the immediate steps to take if you suspect you've been scammed or your identity has been compromised is vital. This includes who to contact, how to secure your accounts, and where to report the incident. Having a plan in place can make a stressful situation much more manageable and help limit any potential damage. Our aim throughout this discussion is to replace uncertainty with confidence and anxiety with empowerment. The online world offers tremendous benefits, and you absolutely deserve to enjoy them safely. By understanding the risks and learning simple, effective strategies to protect yourself, you can continue to connect, learn, shop, and manage your affairs online with greater peace of mind. You are capable, you are resourceful, and with the right knowledge, you can be incredibly resilient against these online threats. Let's begin building that shield of awareness together, starting with understanding the kinds of challenges we might face. All right, now that we've acknowledged the landscape and why it's so important to be vigilant online, let's roll up our sleeves and get practical. Think of this next part as building your personal toolkit for digital safety. We're going to look at the most common tricks scammers use, and more importantly, the straightforward steps you can take to counter them. Remember, the goal isn't to make you fearful, but to equip you with knowledge so you can navigate the online world with well-deserved confidence and peace of mind. These aren't complicated technical skills. They are smart habits, much like locking your front door or looking both ways before crossing the street. First, let's tackle one of the most prevalent threats: phishing. The name itself gives you a clue. It's like fishing, but instead of trying to catch a fish, criminals are trying to hook your personal information. They dangle tempting or alarming bait in front of you, hoping you'll bite. This bait usually arrives as an email, a text message, sometimes called smishing, SMS phishing, or even a phone call, vishing, voice phishing. The message is designed to look or sound like it's from a legitimate source. Maybe your bank, a popular online store like Amazon, a streaming service like Netflix, a government agency like the IRS or Social Security Administration, or even a tech company like Microsoft or Apple. Their aim is to trick you into clicking a malicious link, opening an infected attachment, or revealing sensitive data like your usernames, passwords, credit card numbers, or social security number. How do they do it? They often rely on psychological triggers. They might try to scare you, perhaps with a message saying your account has been compromised, there's a problem with a payment, or you owe money. For example, you might get an email supposedly from your bank stating unusual activity was detected on your account, and you must click a link immediately to verify your identity or your account will be locked. The urgency is designed to make you panic and react without thinking. Alternatively, they might appeal to your curiosity or desire for a reward, perhaps claiming you've won a prize or are eligible for a special refund, but you need to click a link and provide personal details to claim it. Sometimes they impersonate authority, like pretending to be from the IRS demanding immediate payment for back taxes via gift cards, which is something the real IRS would never do. So, how can you spot these deceptive hooks? There are several telltale signs, though be aware that scammers are getting cleverer. Keep an eye out for generic greetings. Legitimate companies usually address you by name. Be wary of emails starting with "Dear valued customer," "Dear account holder," or simply "Hello." Poor grammar and spelling. While some scammers are becoming more sophisticated, many phishing emails still contain awkward phrasing, typos, or grammatical errors. Official communications from reputable organizations are typically carefully proofread. Urgent calls to action. Language designed to rush you is a huge red flag. Phrases like "immediate action required," "your account will be closed," "verify within 24 hours," or "click here now" are common tactics. Real organizations usually give you reasonable timeframes for necessary actions. Requests for sensitive information. This is critical. Legitimate companies will almost never ask you to provide login credentials, passwords, full bank account numbers, credit card details, or your social security number via email or text. If an email asks for this, be extremely suspicious. Suspicious links. Before clicking any link in an email or text, especially if you weren't expecting it, hover your mouse pointer over it. Don't click. Look at the web address, URL, that pops up, usually in the bottom corner of your browser window. Does it look like the real company's website address? Scammers often use links that are slightly misspelled, e.g. paypaywin.com instead of paypal.com, or lead to completely different, strange-looking domains. If the link address looks odd or doesn't match the sender, don't click it. Unexpected attachments. Be very careful with email attachments you weren't expecting, even if they seem to come from someone you know. Their account could have been hacked. Attachments, often disguised as invoices, shipping confirmations, or important documents, can contain malware, malicious software that can infect your computer, steal your data, or lock your files for ransom. Mismatched sender address. Look closely at the sender's email address. Does it truly match the company they claim to be? Scammers might use addresses that look similar, but aren't quite right, e.g., service@paypal.securityupdate.com instead of an official paypal.com address. Let me paint a picture. Imagine receiving an email. The logo looks exactly like your bank's logo. The subject line screams, "Urgent Security Alert, Unauthorized Login Attempt Detected." The email explains someone tried to access your account from an unfamiliar location, and, for your protection, you must click the link below immediately to confirm your identity and secure your account. Your heart might start racing. Your instinct is to protect your money. But wait, you remember this advice. You notice the greeting is just, "Dear customer." You hover over the link, and instead of leading to your bank's familiar website address, it shows a strange mix of letters and numbers. You realize this is a phishing attempt. Instead of clicking, you close the email. If you're genuinely concerned, you open a new browser window. Type your bank's official website address yourself, or use a saved bookmark. Log in securely there and check for any notifications. Or you call the official customer service number listed on the back of your bank card or on their official website. Never use a phone number provided in the suspicious email. This is how you stay in control. The core principle: when in doubt, don't click. Verify independently. Moving on, let's talk about securing your digital entry points, primarily your passwords, and keeping your software updated. Think of passwords as the keys to your online accounts: email, banking, shopping, social media. If a criminal gets hold of a key, they can walk right in. The problem is, many people use weak passwords like password123 or their pet's name, or, even more commonly, reuse the same password across multiple websites. This is incredibly risky. Large companies sometimes suffer data breaches where lists of usernames and passwords are stolen. If you reused your password, a thief who gets your password from one breached site, say an online forum you used years ago, can then try that same password on your email, your bank account, and other valuable targets. So, what makes a strong password? It needs 3 key ingredients. Length. Longer is generally better. Aim for at least 12 characters, ideally more. Complexity. Use a mix of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols, like towers. Uniqueness. This is crucial. Use a different, strong password for every important online account. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How on earth am I supposed to create and remember dozens of long, complex, unique passwords? It sounds impossible, right? This is where a couple of strategies come in handy. One is using passphrases. Instead of a random jumble, think of a sentence that's easy for you to remember but hard for others to guess, and then modify it slightly. For example, "I really enjoy watching the sunset from my porch" could become "I'd arute FMP 24 hours," using first letters, symbols for some words, and adding a number. It's long, complex, and based on something memorable to you. However, even with passphrases, managing unique ones for every site can be a challenge. This is where a password manager can be incredibly helpful. A password manager is like a secure digital vault that creates, stores, and even automatically fills in strong, unique passwords for all your different online accounts. You only need to remember one strong master password to unlock the vault. Reputable password managers like LastPass, 1Password, Bitwarden, or Dashlane, among others, use powerful encryption to protect your stored passwords. They can significantly boost your security and convenience. While it might feel strange at first to entrust your passwords to a program, using a well-regarded password manager is far safer than reusing weak passwords. Just be absolutely sure to create a very strong master password for the manager itself, and keep it safe. Perhaps written down and stored securely offline, not on your computer. Alongside strong passwords, keeping your software updated is like performing essential maintenance on your digital home's locks and windows. your computer's operating system, like Windows or Mac OS, your web browser, Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, and other applications you use regularly release updates. These updates often include critical security patches that fix vulnerabilities, essentially newly discovered weaknesses that criminals could otherwise exploit to sneak malware onto your device or steal information. Running outdated software is like leaving a window unlocked. It gives intruders an easy way in. Many systems can be set to update automatically, which is usually the best option. If not, make it a habit to check for and install updates regularly. Don't dismiss those update notifications. They are there to protect you. Perhaps you heard about a widespread virus a while back that infected computers. Often, those viruses spread by exploiting known security holes in software that people hadn't updated. Simply keeping your software current could have prevented many people from becoming victims. Next, let's discuss safe browsing and shopping habits. When you're navigating the internet, especially when dealing with financial transactions or personal information, you need to know you're in a secure place. Look at the address bar at the top of your browser window. Does the web address start with HTTPS? The S stands for secure, instead of just HT. Do you see a little padlock icon next to the address? These indicate that the connection between your browser and the website is encrypted, making it much harder for anyone to eavesdrop on the information being exchanged. Always look for HTTPS and the padlock, especially before entering any login details, personal information, or payment card numbers. If you don't see them on a page asking for sensitive data, stop. Find a different way or a different site. Be cautious of fake websites. Scammers are adept at creating websites that look almost identical to legitimate ones. They might lure you there through phishing emails, fake ads, or search results. Always double-check the website address, URL, in the address bar to ensure it's correct and not a slight variation designed to trick you. If a deal on a site you've never heard of seems unbelievably good, it might be a scam designed to steal your money or payment information. Trust your instincts. Also, be mindful of public Wi-Fi networks, like those in coffee shops, airports, hotels, or libraries. While convenient, these networks are often unsecured, meaning other people on the same network could potentially intercept the information you send and receive. It's generally best to avoid doing sensitive activities like online banking, shopping with a credit card, or logging into important accounts while connected to public Wi-Fi. If you must use public Wi-Fi for such tasks, consider using a virtual private network, VPN. A VPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for your internet traffic, even over an unsecured network, adding a significant layer of protection. Alternatively, using your smartphone's cellular data connection, if you have a data plan, is usually more secure than public Wi-Fi. When shopping online, follow these tips for added safety. Use credit cards. Whenever possible, use a credit card instead of a debit card for online purchases. Credit cards generally offer better fraud protection. If a fraudulent charge occurs, it's the credit card company's money at immediate risk, not yours directly from your bank account. And they typically have robust processes for disputing charges. Check seller reputation. If buying from a less familiar website or a third-party seller, like on eBay or Amazon Marketplace, check their reviews and ratings. Look for established sellers with positive feedback. Look for contact info and policies. Legitimate online retailers will have clear contact information, phone number, physical address, email, and easily accessible return and privacy policies. Beware unsolicited offers. Be skeptical of pop-up ads or emails offering amazing deals out of the blue. They might lead to unsafe sites or be scams. Keep records. Save confirmation emails and check your credit card statements regularly, at least once a month, if not more often, to ensure all charges are legitimate. report any unauthorized transactions immediately. Imagine spotting a charge on your statement from a store you don't recognize. By checking regularly, you can catch it quickly, report it to your credit card company, and likely get the charge reversed before it causes major issues. Waiting months could make it harder to resolve. Finally, let's focus on protecting your very identity. Identity theft occurs when a criminal steals your key personal information, such as your name, address, date of birth, social security number, SSN, driver's license number, or bank account details, and uses it to impersonate you. They might open new credit card accounts in your name, apply for loans, file fraudulent tax returns to steal your refund, get medical services, or even give your name to police during an arrest. The consequences can be devastating and take a long time to unravel. Your information can be stolen in various ways, both online, through phishing, malware, data breaches at companies you do business with, insecure websites, and offline, stealing mail from your mailbox, digging through your trash for discarded documents, or even shoulder surfing, watching you enter PINs or passwords in public. Therefore, protecting your identity requires vigilance in both the physical and digital realms. Here are crucial steps to guard your identity. Guard your social security number. Be extremely protective of your SSN. Don't carry your social security card with you unless absolutely necessary. Before providing your SSN to anyone, a doctor's office, a new service provider, ask why they need it, how they will protect it, and if there's an alternative identifier you can use. Legitimate organizations should understand your caution. Shred sensitive documents. Don't just throw away documents containing personal or financial information. Bank statements, credit card offers, medical bills, expired IDs. Use a cross-cut shredder to destroy them before discarding. Secure your mail. Collect your mail promptly after delivery. If you'll be away, ask the post office to hold your mail. Consider a locking mailbox if mail theft is a concern in your area. Review social media privacy settings. Be mindful of how much personal information you share publicly on platforms like Facebook. Scammers can piece together details like your birth date, hometown, mother's maiden name, pet's name, often used as security question answers, or vacation plans, letting them know when your house is empty. Review your privacy settings regularly and limit who can see your posts and personal details. Be wary of unsolicited contacts. If someone calls, emails, or texts you unexpectedly asking for personal information, even if they seem to know some details about you already, like your address or the bank you use, be suspicious. Scammers often gather bits of information from different sources to sound more convincing. Hang up on suspicious calls. Delete suspicious emails and texts. Contact the organization directly using official channels if you need to verify anything. Monitor your credit reports. This is one of the most effective ways to spot identity theft early. You are entitled to one free credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, every year through the official website, annualcreditreport.com. Stagger your requests. Get one report every 4 months to monitor your credit throughout the year. Review each report carefully for any accounts you don't recognize, inquiries from companies you haven't dealt with, or incorrect personal information. If you see anything suspicious, report it immediately to the credit bureau and the relevant financial institution. Imagine checking your report and finding a credit card account listed that you never opened. This discovery allows you to take immediate action, placing a fraud alert on your credit reports, closing the fraudulent account, and filing an identity theft report before the damage escalates significantly. Taking these steps might seem like a lot at first, but think of them as building layers of protection around yourself. Each habit, using strong, unique passwords, updating software, spotting phishing attempts, checking for HTTPS, shredding documents, monitoring your credit, adds another layer to your digital shield. Over time, these practices become second nature, allowing you to enjoy the benefits of the online world with much greater security and far less worry. It's about taking control and proactively safeguarding your information and your peace of mind. So, we've journeyed together through the sometimes confusing, often convenient, and occasionally concerning landscape of the online world. We started by acknowledging that feeling a bit wary about online safety is perfectly normal, especially given how much of our lives intersects with technology today. From connecting with loved ones to managing finances and accessing information. We recognize that while the internet offers incredible benefits, it also unfortunately attracts those who seek to exploit others through scams, phishing attempts, and identity theft, sometimes specifically targeting older adults. But most importantly, we establish that the answer isn't to retreat in fear, but to step forward with knowledge and confidence. In our exploration, we shone a bright light on the common shadows lurking online. We dissected the deceptive nature of phishing, those tricky emails, texts, or even calls pretending to be from legitimate organizations trying to panic or entice you into giving away your precious personal information. Remember the key defense mechanism we discussed? It's that powerful pause, that moment you take before clicking a link or replying to an urgent demand, where you ask yourself, was I expecting this? Does it sound right? Does the sender's address or the link look genuine? And crucially, realizing that legitimate institutions rarely ask for sensitive data out of the blue via email or text. Your most powerful tool against phishing is skepticism, followed by independent verification, going directly to the official website, or using a known, trusted phone number, rather than trusting the contact information provided in a suspicious message. You hold the power to refuse the bait. We also delved into the fundamental importance of strong digital locks, your passwords. We talked about making them long, complex, and, most critically, unique for every single important account. The temptation to reuse passwords is understandable, driven by convenience. But we saw how dangerous that can be if one account is compromised. The solution? Employing strategies like creating memorable passphrases, or even better, for managing many unique passwords, utilizing a reputable password manager. Think of it as a secure vault, doing the hard work of creating and remembering those complex keys for you, leaving you with only one strong master password to protect. It might seem like a new step, but it's a profound upgrade to your online security, like replacing a flimsy screen door lock with a sturdy deadbolt. And just like maintaining your home, we discussed the necessity of keeping your digital environment in good repair through software updates. Those reminders to update your operating system, your browser, or other apps aren't annoyances. They are essential security patches plugging holes that criminals could otherwise exploit. Setting updates to happen automatically is often the easiest way to ensure you have the latest protections, fortifying your devices against known vulnerabilities without you having to constantly think about it. It's simple, ongoing maintenance for your digital safety. Navigating the web safely also involves recognizing secure environments. We learn to look for those small but significant signs, the HTTPS at the start of a web address and the padlock icon in the browser bar. These indicate an encrypted, more secure connection, especially vital whenever you're logging in, entering personal details, or making a purchase. We also touched upon the risks of using unsecured public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks and the importance of being discerning when shopping online, favoring credit cards for their better fraud protection, checking seller reputations, ensuring clear contact information is available, and keeping records of your transactions. These aren't complicated technical hurdles. They are observant habits that become second nature, helping you distinguish safe online spaces from potentially risky ones. Finally, we addressed the serious threat of identity theft and the layered approach needed to protect your personal information, both online and off. Guarding your social security number vigilantly, shredding documents with sensitive data, securing your physical mail, being mindful of what you share on social media, and remaining skeptical of unsolicited requests for information are all crucial pieces of the puzzle. And perhaps the most powerful proactive step we discussed, regularly monitoring your credit reports through the official annualcreditreport.com website. Think of it as a regular checkup for your financial identity, allowing you to spot any signs of trouble early, like an unfamiliar account opened in your name, and take swift action to correct it and limit the damage. It's about staying informed and aware of what's happening with your good name. Now, reflecting on all this information, it might feel like a lot to remember, a lot to incorporate into your daily routine. And it's true, the digital world does ask us to be more mindful, more aware than perhaps we needed to be in decades past. But please, don't let this feeling morph into overwhelm or discouragement. Instead, I hope you can see it as an empowering expansion of your skills, a testament to your ability to adapt and learn throughout life. Navigating the online world safely is simply another life skill, much like learning to drive a car or manage household finances, things that might have seemed complex at first, but became manageable and even routine with practice and understanding. Think about all the changes you've already navigated successfully throughout your life. Technological shifts, societal changes, personal milestones. You possess a wealth of experience, resilience, and common sense that is incredibly valuable. Even in the digital realm, the core principles of caution, verification, and protecting what's valuable are timeless. What we've discussed here is simply applying those enduring principles to the online environment. It's not about fundamentally changing who you are. It's about adding new tools to your existing toolkit. It's also important to maintain perspective. While it's crucial to be aware of the risks, we shouldn't let the fear of scams paralyze us or prevent us from enjoying the immense benefits the internet offers. The connections with family and friends, the convenience of online services, the access to knowledge and entertainment. These are valuable aspects of modern life that enhance our independence and engagement. The goal of learning about online safety isn't to build walls around you, but to build strong, reliable gates that you control, allowing the good things in while keeping the dangers out. I want to strongly encourage you to feel empowered by this knowledge. You are not helpless against these threats. Every time you recognize a phishing attempt and delete it, every time you create a strong password, every time you check for HTTPS before entering details, every time you shred a sensitive document, you are actively taking control. You are reducing your risk. You are making yourself a harder target for criminals. There is immense power in that awareness and in those actions. Don't underestimate your ability to learn and apply these strategies. Be patient with yourself as you develop these habits. Perhaps talk about these things with trusted family members or friends. Sharing knowledge and experiences can be mutually beneficial, while always remembering the core safety principles, of course. Remember that staying safe online is an ongoing process, not a one-time fix. Scammers will continue to devise new tricks, and technology will continue to evolve. But the fundamental principles we've discussed, skepticism, verification, strong security habits, monitoring your information, will remain your steadfast allies. Cultivating a mindset of cautious curiosity allows you to embrace the benefits of the digital world while keeping your guard appropriately raised. It's about finding that balance, being open to learning and engaging, while always protecting your personal information and your peace of mind. You have the capacity, the wisdom, and now, hopefully, a clearer roadmap to navigate the online world with greater confidence and security. It's your right to feel safe, whether you're walking down the street or browsing the internet. By taking these practical, manageable steps, you are investing in your own safety, your financial well-being, and your ability to continue enjoying all the connections and conveniences that technology can bring into your life. So, step online, not with fear, but with informed awareness. Know that you have the tools and the understanding to protect yourself. Continue to learn, stay vigilant, trust your instincts, and never hesitate to seek help or clarification if something feels wrong. You've got this. You absolutely have the strength and capability to navigate this digital age safely and confidently.